Hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. This will be an audio only video. I kind of just want to talk about my displeasure with the MCU and how I got here. I need to make this video to just put it out there and not have to talk about it anymore. I just really need to get it off my chest. And so many people have made videos about this, so I figured I'll slip my little opinion in there. Now, for a lot of people, their displeasure started in phase 4. For me, it started in phase 3. And I think the primary reason for that was because as I'm going through phase 3, I'm realizing that there is a lot being sacrificed in the name of building up to Thanos, in the name of fighting Thanos. Stories are being tossed, characters are being ignored or not developed in order to get to Thanos, because that was the end goal for phase 3. Things felt rushed and very lazy to me for a good chunk of phase 3. Literally, you start off with Civil War. There's your first sacrifice, because that in itself, that event in itself should have carried over at least 3 movies. At least. The fact that you brought in the Sokovia Accords, this monumental piece of legislation that broke apart the Avengers, you bring it in Civil War, and it's never discussed again. You never bring it back up again. Or even if you bring it back up, it means nothing. Because the next time we see the Avengers, it's an Infinity War. And what's happening? Thanos is here. So who gives a damn about the Sokovia Accords? So right there, you have something so monumental, completely tossed in the name of Thanos. So that was a missed opportunity right there. Then what comes after that? I think Doctor Strange. Here's your next one. This is the first of 2 instances where you bring in new characters in order to justify their appearance in the next big Avengers film. The first person was Doctor Strange. The second was Captain Marvel. You bring in Doctor Strange, and his entire arc, him becoming the Sorcerer Supreme, was very rushed, in my opinion. I never liked how they brought him in, because it was only there so we understood why he was in Infinity War and why he was as great as he was in Infinity War. How he got to that level, I felt like it was rushed. Was it great to look at? Hell yeah. I can't take that away from the film. But it was rushed, in my opinion. So then we go from Doctor Strange, and what's next? Spider-Man Homecoming? Not bad. Not a bad start. What comes after that? I think Ant-Man and the Wasp? Very forgettable. And I also feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp served to once again build to Thanos, but you're sacrificing your characters. Because I think that film was just there to have the quantum realm introduced, so we understand why it's there in Endgame. Not necessarily Infinity War, but Endgame. Doesn't matter if it really makes sense within the movie itself. Doesn't matter if it's something interesting or compelling. Just have it there so we can have it for the next big Avengers film. On top of that, the movie was just very forgettable to me. The humor didn't hit. Scott was... I didn't care about him and his family dynamic. I didn't care about the Wasp. I don't really know if she had anything going for her outside of looking for her mom. Please let me know if there was anything else. I really can't remember. So, yikes. Then after that, what comes after that? Infinity War comes next. Pretty great film. Love it. Mwah. Then you have Captain Marvel. Again, you're bringing in this character. Doesn't matter if she's interesting or compelling. Doesn't matter if she has flaws. None of that matters. Just make her OP and perfect enough so that when we bring her in for Endgame, it makes sense. Never mind the fact that you completely shafted Black Widow in the process, a character who has been here since the beginning, your first female character, or not character, but hero introduced in the MCU. She is the most prominent and recognizable female hero at this point in the MCU. I believe that she was one of the most recognizable, if not the most recognizable. And you completely shaft her in place of Captain Marvel. So her appearance in Endgame makes sense. Lazy, in my opinion. Completely lazy. So then we get to Endgame. And, you know, a lot of people like to treat Endgame like it's the pinnacle. And I don't really understand that. Because I don't think Endgame was the peak of Marvel in terms of, you know, its best writing and characterization and everything. And I don't believe that's the pinnacle. Sure, it represents a finale, but the writing compared to Infinity War was a lot weaker. And I knew it was going to be weaker as soon as we knew we were going to have time travel. I was like, damn, why? Don't do it. It's not going to work, guys. Oh man, on top of the time travel stuff, honestly, not a lot of Endgame resonated with me, which is insane for a film that was 3 hours and 30 minutes. The only part that I would really want to rewatch is that final battle scene. Hawkeye being Ronin for 5 seconds doesn't resonate with me, and it really doesn't mean anything going forward because you don't even bother to explore it in Hawkeye. We'll get there. Then you have Black Widow dying, but it didn't mean anything to the characters within the film, so why should it mean something to me? Then you try to correct your wrongs after the fact. We're good on that. What else happened in that movie? Lord have mercy. What else happened? Oh, we had Professor Hulk. You skipped over that, so that wasn't very positive. I didn't enjoy that. I don't know. That's all I can remember. Endgame was just I know a lot of people say, you know, after Endgame, that's where it went wrong for them, and you know, I'm sorry if that was the case. But for me, this was just another building block to my annoyance with the MCU and the bed of mediocrity that was being made. Then we get to Phase 4. At this point, I'm a little shaky with the MCU, but I'm still with it. Especially because we have Black Widow coming out. Now, I've voiced my opinions on that film. It wasn't good, in my opinion. It was not good. The story was very flimsy. It didn't have a lot going on. You completely decimated the Red Room. You didn't do anything with Black Widow as a character. This was truly just here to bolster Yelena. Then you have Taskmaster, which was just awful. Not even for the fact that she was a woman. I don't care about that. That's fine. But it's the fact that you wrote her so terribly. So this is a trend now. This is going to be a pattern because there's an inability on the writer's end. Somewhere in there, there's an inability for you to construct and give us a well-rounded female character. I don't know what is going on with that. But that is a pattern. It's been a pattern, honestly, since before Phase 4. But it's a little bit more rampant now. Because you're bringing in all these female characters, they're going to have more prominent roles. And on paper, that sounds good to me. In theory, it could work. But then it's the presentation, it's the application, it's horrendous. And when I go to voice my criticism, it's like, oh no, you have a problem with them being female. No, I have a problem with the writers. I have a problem with you not being able to deliver to me a well-rounded character, whether she's a villain or a hero. You can't do it. And you need to fix that right now. Because if you don't fix it now, I don't know. Because they're going to be very prominent going forward. And this is what we have of them. They're very empty. Sorry, that was a rant. That was a little bit of a rant. But it's just so disappointing. It's just so disappointing. Because I want to root for these characters. I want to root for these newly established female characters. But the writers don't give a shit. And I don't know if it's Kevin Feige. I don't know who it is. But you keep bringing in these writers who, number one, they don't give a shit. Or you are putting them in an environment where they don't give a shit. Right? It's either you've put them in this environment where their care levels go down to 0, or they come into it not caring. Either way, it's not good. Because they don't even do the bare minimum of watching what came before you get your hands on these characters. You don't even watch what came before. No one's asking you to read a comic book. Just watch what came before in the films. But that doesn't happen, so then you have all this mischaracterization, you have all this stuff going on, and it's like, what? Did you not consult with what? Oh my god. So, I'm sorry. Another tangent. Sorry. What's next? Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi was fine until the third act. It was fine until the third act. I don't know if they're going to come back to Shang-Chi. I don't know when they're going to do that. I don't know when they're going to come back to the rings. It seemed to mean something with that post-credit scene, but I don't know. I don't know. Eternals was utterly boring for me. They tried to do too much. It did not work. It felt like a 4-hour film, and it shouldn't have. They set that director up. I'll stand by that. They set her up because you expected this director to come in and establish like 10 characters, make them all fit within the MCU, right? Explain how they got to this point in the MCU and set them up for what's to come. Like, nah. I feel bad for the director because they really set her up with that. But then anyways, we have No Way Home, which was great, actually. I really enjoyed No Way Home. It was just a fun film. However, the characterization of, let's focus on the side characters, because I feel like they started to right their wrongs with Peter, albeit a little too late, but whatever. Side characters, they're all very hollow, all of them. And I made a video on that, so moving on. Then we have Multiverse of Madness. Oh my god. So at this point in Multiverse of Madness, so you rehashed Wanda's arc. You rehashed Doctor Strange's arc from What If episode 4. Oh my god. So in rehashing Wanda's arc, you actually destroy her as a character. So that's great. You destroy whatever it was that was set up in WandaVision. So that's wonderful, wonderful. Then with Doctor Strange, he does not grow. He does not grow from the beginning of the film to the end of the film. To me, there is no growth. And he is like one of the more prominent heroes going forward. And he has no arc. Then you have America Chavez, who was a literal plot device. So that's another female character down the drain. That's great. Just wonderful. Then we have Thor Love and Thunder, which I have yet to see, which I will not be seeing at this point because I just don't care to. The shows. So there was WandaVision. It started off great. The ending was very Then we had Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Kind of forgettable. Not gonna lie. The villain was awful in Carly. So another female character down the drain. You expected us to sympathize with a terrorist. So that's awesome. Great. Okay. Then we had, what was next? Loki. Didn't watch Loki. Then you had Hawkeye, which was not bad. You know, I love Hawkeye. However, they failed in exploring Hawkeye's time as Ronin, which is a very big part of the show, but yet we don't get to see that. Clint being Ronin, his time as Ronin, it comes back to bite him in the ass. That's a huge part of the series, but we never ever see it, which is a shame. So that was a missed opportunity. Kate Bishop is probably my favorite of the newer MCU characters so far. She's definitely my favorite. She actually has like a personality. So I love it. Her and Yelena are cool. Yelena's a little more, but whatever. Sorry, this is kind of a ramble. I'm sorry. What's the next show? So then we have What If. What If was the chance for them to just completely go off the rails. Just go bonkers. Do whatever the hell you want. Off the title alone. The basis of your show, you could do whatever the hell you want. And I feel like they played it safe. And because they played it safe in my eyes for What If, it was forgettable outside of episodes 2 and 3. Those are my favorite, and those are the ones that I rewatch. Hopefully they improve in season 2. We'll see. Then the next one from my recollection was Moon Knight. Started off great, but fizzled out. For me, very much fizzled out. Very much was annoyed with the false marketing of that show. I made my reviews on that, so, I don't really need to get into that. Then there was Ms. Marvel. I checked out the trailer, didn't think it was for me. I had no desire to watch it, and outside of like 10 minutes of the first episode, I have not watched that show. So then we get to She-Hulk. At this point, I'm ready to just tap out. But the marketing for She-Hulk was pretty damn good. So I said, okay, I'll check it out. Watched the first episode, as you know, and I didn't really enjoy it. Once again, another female character just completely written to shit and used as a sounding board rather than written as a full, complete human being. So that's great. I don't understand. Like, they literally managed in 30 minutes, you took out all of the spunk, all of the tenacity, that fire that She-Hulk has. You managed to rip it completely away from her in 30 minutes. I have to wonder how these writers were hired. When you are openly admitting you don't know how to write compelling court scenes for a lawyer show, for a lawyer comedy show. I don't understand. When you're not doing the bare minimum and watching what came before in terms of the Hulk. When you're not providing this brand new character, you're not giving her an arc. You're not giving her room to grow. You're not giving her any sort of challenge. No one is questioning her or her actions. There's no moments of reflection. Like, what the hell is going on? And I'm saying all this because I've seen reviews for the other episodes. And I'm just so confused. And I've never seen a show be in deep shit from episode 1. I don't get it. Man, I don't know. So now we're at this point in time where I was like, okay, we got to take a break. We got to back off from the MCU till 2023. Because at the rate things are going, I'll never pay to see one again. And I'll feel no ways about it. Like, seriously. Man, there's no heart. It doesn't feel like there's any heart with some of these projects. And it's becoming more and more apparent. And then all the other behind the scenes stuff that's going on with them abusing VFX artists and possibly other departments. Nah, that's not it. Not for me. Not right now. Oh man. I think that's it, guys. It's kind of late, so I'm gonna go to bed. But what did you think? Do you disagree? Do you agree? Are you kind of in the middle? Let me know, or don't. But either way, thanks for getting through this ramble, my thoughts, my late night thoughts, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.